Hey, this is Blake from the Gig Harbor Fly Show, and welcome to this new episode. And we're going to talk today about how to transport your fly rod. So maybe you have your gear rigged up before you go fishing, or at the end of the day, you don't really want to break the whole thing down. So here's a couple tips on what to do with your gear so you can safely move your gear around and transport it. The first thing is that the hook keeper at the bottom of the handle or at the front of the top of the handle, I almost never use. So I always use either the first stripping guide or the second, if there is one. And on saltwater rods, a lot of times they don't even put that little hook keeper there. It's actually a safety issue. You can cut your hand on it. The reason why I like this up here is because I can take the line, I can pull some line off. I can take the line and I can just wrap it behind the reel foot, and I can then reel up a little bit. And what this does, it allows me to keep a couple extra feet of line out of the rod than if I had it on the hook keeper. So when I'm ready to fish, I can just unhook my fly, drop the line from behind the reel, and now I don't have to worry about that loop-to-loop connection with my fly line to the leader being in the guides. It's out of the guides. I have fly line out of the tip of the rod, and I'm ready to cast. And so this is just, it's ready to go. It's quick. Now, if I'm going to transport the rod, I like to hook the fly on that same stripping guide, and I'll take my 4-piece rod and divide it in half. And now some people will take the tip of the rod and bend it this direction, and I never do that. It's big pet peeve for me. I take the butt section of the rod and match it up with the half of the rod so the tip is at the top. Now I take the line, I put it behind that reel, and then I just reel up the line, and sometimes you have to maybe feed a little bit of line, and then this is how I transport the rod. If you take your reel case, I love these oversized reel cases from Nautilus, those are great, so that will keep everything intact. If they get a little bit squirrely, sometimes I might have maybe 10 rods in the back of my truck, and so even like this, things can get a little bit tangled. So I found these little bungees, and they were longer. I just knotted them off with this little guy here, and you can cinch it up, and that just keeps the rods, but you can use twist ties, or people will use like a rubber band around the stripping guide. But that makes it really easy to transport. And then when I get ready to fish, take the reel case off. From here, I can just drop the line off the back of the reel. I put my second piece on, and then now I'm ready to go. I can pull down on the line. I have fly line out of the tip of the rod, makes it easy to cast. And if you put the tip back to here, what ends up happening is that tip will slide around and the tip will stick out this way, and it finds tailgates and trunks. Vehicles probably break more rods than fish actually do. So this will hopefully limit how many rods that you end up breaking, but it also keeps more line out so that you can just drop the fly and start casting. You're not trying to feed the line out of the tip of the rod. So a couple tips about how to take your fly rod with you either in the back of a car or in the back of your truck and get you out on the water quickly. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Gig Harbor Fly Show. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and like our videos. Leave any comments down. How do you transport your fly rod?